Well, it's a very simple skill, really, and very effective, in which you continually return your attention to what's going on right now, so out of your mind and to whatever is going on right now. Sometimes that's your breathing, sometimes it's something that you're actually doing. But you bring your attention back with acceptance. And what that means is that you do so without having a lot of talk going on in your mind, especially about things that you don't like.
Because, for example, you said that we often live in this sort of trance-like state where we're living in memories, we're living in hopes, we're living in fantasies of all these sorts of things that are maybe in our control, out of our control, but actually what's in the here and now, we kind of don't live in that existence.
Yes, I mean, the default mode of the brain, as it's called by neuroscientists, is that our memory is active, our imagination is active, and actually the speech centres of the brain are active even when you're not talking. So we go around talking to ourselves, basically. Problem with that is that it can lead us into dark places or into spending a lot of time on maybe regrets, resentments, anxiety, worry. That isn't doing anything for us, and that can actually lead to depression or stress and so on. Mm-hmm. With mindfulness, you come into the present moment deliberately much more often. But you will always drift away, because that's the natural thing. And you just keep bringing yourself back with mindfulness.
Well, you said that it was a morning in Dublin, sunny afternoon, actually sunny afternoon in 1980. And so what was it that led you to discover it and to try it?
I had abandoned my desk in the Irish Times. It was late 1980s, as I often did, and wandered around bookshops. And in the big bookshop in Dublin, Eason's, I found in the Mind, Body, Spirit section, as it's called now, a book on mindfulness. It was called The Heart of Buddhist Meditation, and I thought, that's a really weird book. You just didn't see books like that at the time. So I reached out and I opened it at the section on mindfulness, and I read about 2 pages, and I tried it, and I liked it.
And what did you do to be able to pick it up and then walk, sit, sort of sit in the sunshine? How simple is it to do to reach that state?
Essentially, what you're doing is, one way of thinking of it is that you're observing what you're doing, what's going on for you, without following the stories in your mind, without getting lost in the thoughts in your mind. So you're coming back all the time to the experience. And as luck would have it, it was a nice sunny afternoon, and I wandered over to Trinity College, and there was a cricket match on, and I bought a pint in the Pavilion bar and stood mindfully watching the cricket. Didn't understand any of it, as we tend not to in Ireland, but it felt really good, and I continued practicing mindfulness ever since, without the lager.
It's a sunny afternoon, you're watching the cricket with a beer. Yeah. I mean, most people would feel quite good doing that, wouldn't they? Yeah. You don't need a book.
Yes, but I think it enhanced the experience that I wasn't wandering off to whatever thing I was supposed to be doing next at work, which maybe I should have been, but I wasn't.
Because my mind wanders all the time.
Yeah.
So how do you do it then? You say to begin with, the best sort of process of getting into this mindful state, would you say, is to check in, and you've got a process of checking in.
Yes, there's a process of checking in that I can take you through now if you like.
Please.
We can do it in 60 seconds or so.
All right then. Okay.
You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to, because we can't go through our days with our eyes closed, really. So the checking in begins with noticing your breathing, just simply noticing it. And as you're doing this, your mind is going to drift. And whenever it does...
I'm going to take my earpiece out, so I've got no distractions whatsoever. Now go for it.
So as you're doing all of this, your mind will drift. And whenever you notice that that's happened, you just silently label that with the word thinking, and then you come back. So for a few moments, just noticing your breathing right now. And now going on to noticing your posture, so just what it feels like to be sitting down, or some people watching this could be standing or lying down, just noticing that. Again, bring your attention back whenever it goes. And now go to noticing sensations in your feet, then sensations in your hands. And now just turn to noticing sounds, but noticing sounds without commenting on them or judging them. So start with sounds in your immediate environment, and then go to any sounds you might hear from outside your environment. And just notice if there's any sound from even further away, and put some attention on that. And now for a few moments, just back to your breathing.
It's very calming.
That's it. Yeah.
It's so simple and
It's
so
really calming.
I know.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that thinking word is the minute your mind drifts away to something else, and to
Yes.
bring it back actually
Yes.
does centre you, doesn't it?
It centers you because when you do that kind of labeling in your mind, this has been found in cognitive behavioral therapy, it tends to cool down the emotions. You're not telling yourself not to think, because that doesn't work. So you're accepting that you're thinking and you're just getting on with things.